Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this Lotus Biscoff Cheesecake. So this is the pan I'll be using. It's already lined in baking paper. I crushed my Lotus Biscoff biscuits and then I'm adding melted unsalted butter to the biscuits, and I'm just going to be mixing it together. I used about 8 tablespoons of the melted butter to make sure it has this coarse consistency before I poured it directly into the pan. You can see the pan is already lined with baking paper, and after pouring it into the pan, next I'm going to be using a glass cup to just press it down firmly to make sure it comes out hard at the end of the recipe. So into a bowl I'm adding about 300 milliliters of heavy cream. I'm using a large one, so that's what I'm showing you guys. And then I'll be mixing it together to make sure it comes out looking like it has had peaks. But in less than 2 or 3 minutes, this was already hard and looking really thick. So I removed the mixer and you can see how hard that looks. So I've set it aside, and next I'll be adding cream cheese into a bowl. I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese for this recipe, and I'll also be adding icing sugar. I will leave a description of all the ingredients used in the description box below. And next I added the Lotus Biscoff spread to this, and then I'll be mixing it together to make sure it's properly combined. You can see all the description of all the ingredients I've used in the description box below. They'll be listed there. Mix it to make sure it's properly combined, and then I added the heavy cream I just mixed into this cream cheese mixture, and I'll be mixing it like this gently to make sure it comes out looking combined. And you just want to stir lightly and blend in together. Then you have this type of consistency. It's properly mixed and combined. All the ingredients are mixed together. Set it aside, and then I'll be pouring it directly into the biscuit base which we made before. After pouring it in, I'm trying to smoothen it out to make sure it's evenly spread out on top of the biscuits, and then I'll just try and smoothen all the edges to make sure it looks good. I changed my spoon here because the spatula was already looking messed up, so you can see it's already looking good now. I'm just using a kitchen towel to wipe out the edges to make sure it looks really neat and good before taking it into the fridge. You can leave it in the fridge for up to 6 hours until it's firmly, or you can leave it overnight until it comes out looking really hard. So next I'll be melting that Biscoff spread. I put it into the microwave while I'm using a warm knife to remove the edges of the icing, which is the cream cheese and the icing sugar mixed together. I'm just using the knife to remove the edges to make sure it's not pressed down on the edges when I open the baking pan. So next I open the baking pan, and this is a close look of how the Lotus Biscoff cream cheese cake looks like. It looks really good. So the Biscoff spread is melted. I'll be pouring it directly. You want to make sure it cools down before you pour it on top of the cheesecake. So when it was cold, I poured it on top of the cheesecake, and then I'll be spreading it to cover the top of the cheesecake to give it this nice look and smooth it out look. It wasn't really properly smooth, but I did try my best to spread it on top of the cheesecake and give it a very nice look. After spreading it, you can see I didn't really do a good job on the edges, but it's looking good and it's coming together. Next I'll just be sprinkling the crushed Lotus Biscoff biscuit on top of the cheesecake to give it a nice finished look. So that is gonna cover up all the mistakes I've made along the edges. You can see I'm just covering it up so you wouldn't even notice that it's not properly smoothened out. And this is the final look, guys. It looks really good. You can see how smooth that looks like. It's giving it like a glazed look, but it looks really nice. So next I'll just be adding one biscuit on top of the cheesecake to give it a finishing touch. And this is how my Lotus Biscoff biscuit cheesecake look like. I'll just be cutting the cheesecake. You want to wipe down at every cut because it's cheese and then it's gooey, and you can't really use it to cut that much because it's gonna be sticky. I noticed the biscuits since I was trying to use the knife to get all the way down, I didn't really get all the edges, and you can see some crumbs of the biscuit there, but after the first cut, the next one was spot on, and this is how it looks like. It looks really good, and it tastes yum. This is my first time making Lotus Biscoff with the with the Biscoff spread, and it's really nice. Now we're gonna have a taste test of the cheesecake. This is how it looks. Tastes yum, very yum. You can taste the Biscoff cream in the cream with the cheese and every cream, and they're all blended together. And also the one on top, it just literally melts in your mouth. It's really good. Looks good and tastes yum.